All right, we'll move on to the main story now. And this is about a super yacht. It's a bit of a mystery, let's say. The vessel basically has disappeared from AIS. I think I know why. We believe it is, well, the possibility is that it is intentionally trying to spoof the AIS. But I don't think that, based on my own experience and based on what I'm going to tell you, you'll understand why. I think it's unintentional spoofing of AIS. And I'm going to show you, two different versions of an AIS software. Marine Traffic is one of them, and the other one is called Spire ShipView. You've probably never heard of Spire ShipView. If you watch the AIS video that we posted on Sunday, you'll probably heard of them because we mentioned them in that video, but that's the first time we've ever mentioned them. But we're working with their software right now to be able to show you what we think is happening with this vessel. So the reason why this started is because we got some photographs in from a subscriber of Motoryacht Opera in the Maldives, in a place called Malé in the Maldives, and he said it's got no AIS right now, and he told us the location of the vessel, right? So we looked it up on Marine Traffic, and we noticed something quite odd about Marine Traffic. So we'll go to Marine Traffic. All right, so this is Marine Traffic, as you can see, and this is the vessel that we're talking about. This is Motoryacht Opera. This is a 146 meter, which is almost 500 feet, 480 feet long. It is over 12,500 gross tons. It is one of the largest super yachts in the world. Now, it's in the top 5 of super yachts in the world by gross tonnage. Now, by length, not so much, but we go by gross tonnage on this channel because it's more descriptive of the size of a vessel. Now, if we look on the map here, it shows you that it is in the Maldives, right? Which is great because the photographs we received from the subscriber, whose name I'll put on screen, shows the yacht in the Maldives, but it's not in the same location as the AIS says. Now, on the AIS, there is some data here. You can see it says the last data was received on the 19th of the 4th, 19th of April, 2024 at 02:18 hours UTC. And so what's the date today? It's the 23rd today. So it has had no data for 4 days. Now we do actually have, we're using the desktop version of Marine Traffic right now, but I also have this. This is a screen grab from my iPad. And you can see there, it says there's been no AIS received for 4 days and 9 hours. So now what's interesting is when we zoom in here, we see that the last known location for the 146 meter, 12,500 gross ton ship is at the airport in the Maldives. Now that's a bit strange, isn't it? Now if you look, it shows it was docked at a small jetty, which is the size of a small tender. Now, what's going on there? That's very odd, isn't it? Now, if we look at the data in the small box here, it gives us some clues here. It says that the service status is a Class B. Now, that is referring to the transponder, the AIS transponder, and it's saying it's a Class B transponder. Now, a vessel the size of Opera would have to have a Class A transponder. It wouldn't be allowed to use a Class B. So that's also suspicious, isn't it? So the vessel's not been seen on AIS for 5 days, and the last known location was at an airport in a dock that it could not fit into, and the transponder is incorrect. If we go to Spire ShipView, this is something that you've never seen before. We type in the IMO number, right? Now, if we type in the IMO number, it says here there is no ships found. That means, and it says the latest vessel information. That means there is no ship currently broadcasting AIS with that number, with that IMO number. Now, remember, the IMO number is the International Maritime Organization number, and they issue an IMO number to all ships that are required to have an IMO number over a certain size. And that number never changes, regardless if it's sold to different people. That number never changes. All the other numbers will change. The call sign will change. The MMSI number will change. But that number doesn't change. Now, if we go in and we click historical vessel information, we get two vessels, right? The first vessel, now it's the same vessel. If you look at the IMO number, it's the same vessel. Now, the reason why there's two versions is because when it went to sea trials, which is what the first one was, got a German flag on it, they had to register the vessel to be able to do sea trials. And the MMSI number is you can see there, 211882560. So that's the sea trials version. And then when the vessel was delivered, then it got registered in the Cayman Islands and it changed the MMSI number, which shows you that that number changes. You can see the call sign changed. But the IMO number stays the same. That's, that's good information. It's not really relevant, but it's good that you know that information. So if we click on this vessel and it takes us to the vessel and it tells us the last known location was in Malé, right? So that's good. That shows us the last known location as well. Now, if I open this window here, this is where it starts to get interesting. This is the vessel information window, like the one that we see in marine traffic. So here's the one in marine traffic. It's a similar kind of thing. Now, but if we look in there, we see the IMO number, 1012933, the MMSI number. So it's the same vessel that we're looking at, right? But if we look at the transponder class, it says here Class A. So what is going on here? So that's two different classes of transponders, which suggests two vessels, right? Two vessels with the same MMSI number. Now, when you program a transponder, an AIS transponder, the only required information that you have to put in is the MMSI number. Everything else you can leave blank. You can just put that number in and that's it. You can't change it. Once you've put it in and saved it, you cannot change it. You have to send it back to the manufacturer. You have to remove that unit from the vessel and send it back to the manufacturer, and they will reset it. And that's to stop you from just changing it whenever you feel like. So this has got a Class A transponder on it, right? It's the same vessel. As we've looked at, all of the data is the same. But the last known location, if I zoom in, remember marine traffic says the last known location is at the airport, right? But the last known location on Spire Ship View is not at the airport. There's the airport, and there's the last known location. So it's between these two islands here. So we've got Class A transponder, we've got a different location. And also if I say, if I go here and I say, give me the last 30 days of AIS data for Opera. Okay, so the last 30 days, and it tells me sailed from Dubai. All right, so if I zoom in, it's not quite as easy to use this. It's a little bit, I would say this is 2 generations behind marine traffic in terms of how it looks on screen and stuff, but the data is very good. It sailed from Dubai and it sailed down. You can see the dates here, 27th of March. It's in this location, 28th of March in this location, 29th of March, it's here. And then we keep zooming in. So that's the last known location. Remember these two islands here. Now, if we go back to marine traffic, that the track just goes from here. Now, this is the same location as the last known location from Spire View, right? Between those two islands. And if we go back to Spire View, you can see there it is again. So this is what I believe has happened is what they've done is they've got the main transponder on the vessel, which is Class A, as we showed here in this data. And that is the main vessel. And then we've shown you another vessel also broadcasting the same MMSI number with a Class B transponder. And that's a tender. That's most likely a tender that's come from that vessel and gone to the airport to pick somebody up. So what's happened? Either deliberately or unintentionally, they have programmed a tender with the same MMSI number as the main vessel, right? Each vessel that has AIS will have its own, it's registered differently, right? So it has its own MMSI number. But whoever programmed the AIS transponder in that tender, programmed it with the same number. So when they put that boat in the water, it starts broadcasting and it's confusing marine traffic's data, and it's picking up the Class B transponder. Now, why is it that Spire Ship View is not making that same mistake? Well, I think it's because Spire Ship View uses satellite AIS to gather all their data, whereas marine traffic uses satellite AIS, but they also have terrestrial receivers. And if you've watched the AIS video, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I'll put a link. You can go and watch it. The terrestrial receiver is probably picking up the Class B transmission, whereas the Ship View is not, because it's probably not been on long enough. Apparently it wasn't broadcast for very long. But as a result of that, marine traffic has got confused. So whether or not it's intentional is unknown, but it is very interesting nonetheless, isn't it? So they are effectively showing themselves as being in a place where they're not. Now, if we go to Google Earth, I can show you that the photographs that were sent into us by our subscriber show the vessel. This is where he said that the vessel was. He said it was off the resort at Barros Islands, which is here. And you can see that the airport is down here. And the last known location between those two islands here was around here. So the vessel has switched off AIS and it's traveled to this location here. So yeah, so that's what's happened. A very, very strange situation with the AIS. Like I said, I think I've explained why that has happened. Let me know if you've got any other theories. I'm pretty sure that's what's happened. This has actually happened to a vessel I worked on. That's the exact same thing happened, but it really confused marine traffic. But as I showed you here, it did not fool Spire Ship View. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you found this interesting. It's a bit of a different type of video today. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think it's deliberate? Do you think it's accidental? I myself think it's probably accidental. I don't think they really intended to do it. But this vessel does have, is getting a reputation for turning off the AIS whenever the owner's on board. So, it could be deliberate. They've certainly turned off the system because the Ship View shows the vessel as not currently broadcasting, and Ship View is very accurate, as you'll know if you watched that AIS video. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed this type of format. Let me know what you think. So I know it's a little bit different, but let me know in the comments and we'll talk about it there. Thanks very much for watching this video. You've been watching a Super Yacht News clip. If you'd like to see the full unedited Super Yacht News video, you can click on the link over here. You can also find our channel links below here. And if you'd like to see more shorter videos like this one, be sure to subscribe to this channel.